them first couple seconds. So I pause before I do my little intro, girl. But it is a beautiful Saturday, June the 8th, about almost noon. All right. What it is, you guys, it is yo girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping. Because you gotta hold your breath for justice, girl. To see justice before all face to Blake. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, I came through today. I am up at the library. I am trying to upload my videos from the Divine Ones conference. It was a seminar, I'm sorry, that I went to yesterday, but they still uploading, girl. So that means that I don't know that recording on my device. I don't know how good that's gonna work out. That's why I'm live with you guys now. But okay, so y'all hung out with me that day that I was getting ready right before I had worked that day. That was Thursday. I worked. I got off of work at like five something. Y'all know my go to is to hit the park and walk the park until dark. Basically, I watch the sunset every day. I go out there, I stretch, I think, I journal sometimes. I just spend a lot of time in the parks. Like I love the park. Um, so rather than that, I had to go home. I had to go straight home, girl. You know that just almost outed your girl because that's my usual to meditate. I pull my Bible out my trunk. I read a chapter or so, and then I walk and I review my videos. So it's almost like I do my work in the park. That's what it's looking like. But that day I had to go straight home and I said I had to finish that shirt. I let it be to the last minute. Y'all know I don't plan for nothing to be to the last minute. We went and bought the shirt for the Latoya Okeia seminar like a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? It must have been a couple of weeks ago. So I had every day in my mind that I'm going to at least do the outline today. And then I'm going to do the base painting on this day. And then I'm going to do the midtones on this day. And then I'll finish it up on this day. If I really did that, it would not be so challenging to finish up these Project Reach the World hand painted shirts before it's time for the event. But it's something that always happens that I'm right at the last minute. We did that with Danny Collins. Remember, I was going to work on that, but then it came to the night of. And what's crazy, both times I had to drive to Tallahassee. So end up, I did get home. I finished the shirt, but no. I did something on the shirt. So I painted the base painting and I did the midtones with you guys. You can check out that live if you like. It's just a couple of lives up. It was the last ones where I was reviewing a video from Diamond Royal Ministries. Ashley, she had responded to a comment that I left about Marcello. I'm actually trying to use that over on TikTok because on my TikTok content, I'm all about justice. This content here is kind of a mixture, just a mixed pot. It's me, because this is who I am, but it's niche down to just justice on TikTok. So I'm trying to repurpose it over there, but device giving me trouble. But yeah, so we reviewed that, and then I had to twist my little locks. My little locks are so thin, but I had to put them in two-strand twists. I wish I had the full thick locks, but that's not. I have thin hair anyway. My hair is like a my natural hair pattern is like a almost wavy type. It's thin and wavy. So it's just not. When I try to get locks, it doesn't thicken up like the super curly hair. It looks cute and all of that. Mine is thin. So I had to do something with my hair because, I didn't want to come as I was. Even though people tell you that I did not want to come as I was, girl. So I had to do my hair. That took me a good maybe 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, to retwist my hair, to fix the parts and stuff. And then at about 10 something or almost 11, I got back to painting on the t-shirt and finishing up the t-shirt for Miss Latoya Okeia, to be able to give to her at the, I'm sorry, I'm mixing up the name. I'm trying to say Diamond Royals because that is right on the tip of my tongue. At the Divine Ones. Yes, Divine Ones seminar. Um, so I don't think we did another live, and I don't think we finished that live until it was a good two something going on three. So I didn't go to sleep until like three something in the morning. Now, the Divine Ones seminar was actually in Tallahassee. I'm in Orlando, so I had to drive. Girl, I was so tired. So I got up at, so I went to sleep at three something, got back up at seven. So for me to get to Tallahassee by one, I needed to leave the house by like eight, no later than nine. So I got up at seven. I snoozed until 7:20, got my shower good. And then, I'm a caregiver to my sister, so I went in there so she can go get her shower. We barely grabbed anything to eat. We got ready and we got out the house. I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn the air up a little bit. It's hot, but then I know you can hear it once I turn it up, but forgive me. So we got on the road. Thank God there was already gas in the car. And God made so many provisions. Basically, because like my car is not good enough to be taken up and down the road like that. Like it's a local car, right? Locally owned. So I wanted to borrow my dad's car, but my dad is like, he likes to know things way ahead of time. So he wanted me basically to ask last week or something to let him know that I wanted to borrow the car. So I was like, man, it's down to the moment. For me, I keep saying I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And the time gets so far away from me and I don't know how it happens. It ends up being that day, right at hand, just like with the t-shirt, the same thing. I keep saying, oh well, tomorrow I'll do this and then I'll catch up. And you never seem to catch up. Our whole life, well, I'm not gonna speak for all y'all, but my whole life feels like one big game of trying to catch up. And I never quite get caught up, right? So, and if you ever stop moving for a moment because you are so far behind, you just completely fall off track and fall all the way behind and drop all the balls and everything's out of order and out of whack. So it's a constant having to keep moving to just keep barely afloat. It's annoying. That's why I'm trying to get out this workshop. Yeah, I already know. Because if I could get out of the workshop, so much more time freedom I can have to do what I'm really trying to do, to actually do my purpose, to actually use my gifts that God gave me, right? So, anyways, all that rant was to tell you that I did not ask my dad ahead of time. And I'm like, oh, I don't want him to be mad at me, but I really need to borrow his car. I'm like, how we gonna get there, girl? So my sister had already asked him, and I was like, was dad like upset? Because I don't want to upset my dad at all. I try to always. So she was like, no, he wasn't upset. So thank God. And I had prayed for that. I was like, Lord, please don't let him be mad because this is the last minute we can ask him for the car. And I had prayed that I did not get sleepy on that road because y'all know I did not get no sleep. Had to pray on my little contacts because them contacts that go to rubbing you the wrong way when you on that road. So my contacts held up, even though I didn't get to soak them. So when I don't soak my contacts, I go through jail. I go through jail when I don't soak my contacts because I wear the hard gas permeable contacts and they hurt like heck. But that is the only way I could see. Other than that, I am blind, right? So God sustained my contact, though I wasn't able to soak them like I usually do. He kept me awake. I was not tired, and I kept thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get to the conference. If I make it to the conference, then I'm gonna be like drastically sleepy through the conference, and I won't be able to engage like I want to." No, baby, that I'm telling you, that was so beautiful. The anointing there, the spirit of the Lord was there. I how could I be tired like that, girl? Wasn't no tiredness. That was gone. And then when it was over, okay, wait, I'm going too far. Back up, Cadillac. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. You went too far. You went from the trip to okay, so we get to the venue and it's kind of confusing, like the where you park is kind of across the street from the hotel, and then somehow you walk through the bottom of the hotel, and then you have to come around to this area that they had like on the back side of the hotel, which it had a whole different address. Like that was confusing me because I'm like, the things say I'm here, but completely this is not saying this is the address for here. Like, and it's like, oh no, you got to walk all the way through the building to the back, and this, and that. So we ran into a beautiful young lady that was looking for the same place. Thank God he paired us up, and we both was looking lost and going all around. Trying to find the area. Then we found it was this little dude that was working in the parking garage, and he pointed us to how to get to the hotel. So we found the hotel. We got there exactly. My GPS, I was hoping to not, I had to pee the whole way. But I was like, I cannot stop because every time I stop, and I was almost on E. So thank God my dad already had gas in the car. I had drove almost to E. And you know, on Florida roads, y'all know I'm a prison wife. Y'all know I done visited my husband all over the backwoods of Florida, girl. You don't want to be on that road without gas. It could be your ass. Girl, let me tell you, there some of these places are so country that you may pass a gas station every 30 to 40 minutes, right? It's not just so, so you don't, if you don't know the area you going into, it's just best to keep gas in your tank, right? Because you don't want to be cutting off. You don't, and especially at night, girl, it ain't lit up, it ain't nothing. It's just you and that nature, right? No. So I didn't want to like stop for gas because it adds to your time, right? And I really had to pee, but I was like, I'm gonna push it, I'm on a quarter tank. I can make it, Lord, I can make it. So I did, grace of God, even though I shouldn't have been doing that. I made it on time. I didn't want to be late. But so and then we got lost, so allotted time for getting lost and all of that. We got there exactly at 1 o'clock when it was supposed to start, but they were kind of delayed, which was good. I kind of expected that because you don't expect something to start exactly on time. Like, who really expects that? So I was hoping that they delayed a bit. So we find the area where the hotel is, and then there's another lady, a divine one, that's out front, and she's like, oh, are you looking for the divine one seminar? And we're like, yes. We are completely lost. So thank God that Toya had people out front directing us into where she would be. That was very thoughtful because, girl, we we For people like me, girl, people like me that don't know no type of like, girl, that was confusing to me. Like sometimes I confused with my left from my right. I know y'all Google this. I have mouse dyslexia, which is crazy. Which I'm wondering, do I have regular dyslexia? Girl? I have something called mouse dyslexia, where I use my mouse backwards. I move my mouse to the left to move the cursor right. I move the cursor to the right to move left. And then I also notice when I'm driving with someone and someone tells me to turn left right here, my first response is going to be to turn right. And then I have to think. I have to actively sit there. There's no instinct about it. I have to actively sit there and think, what is my left from my right? And then I'm like, oh, that left. So I have a joke with Money that when Money tells me to turn right, she's like, Mom, right, not your left. And I'm like, oh yeah, not my. Then I'll joke back. I'll be like, my mouse right on my right, and she'll be like, Ma, you're right. I have no idea. It's just something reared up in my brain like that. So I am not good with directions at all, and it happens every time I'm driving. Someone will say, make a quick right. Oh baby, I'm finna make a quick left, and they'd be like, or when he said get over to your right lane, I'm definitely finna be getting over to the left lane until they call me on it or until I think about it. Like I have to actively think about it. So I don't know, girl. There's all types of things going on up here. But we found it, that was nice. So then we get to the desk. So I see that the lady that was walking with us had her tickets printed out, and I'm like, oh, that preparation. Like I wish I could prepare, but I barely got it together, girl. Like I barely got here. I'm here though. I barely got here. So I don't have the ticket printed. I'm like, oh man, did we have to print the tickets? Like, okay, so this is where the enemy tries to get you. Because of the way I move through life, usually something's wrong, something's off. Usually, it's always something. So because I know that, I'll jump ahead and I'll say, I'm sure something's going to go wrong. Now, when you get to the point where you're jumping ahead and saying, yeah, something probably gonna go wrong. Oh, things ain't gonna go so smooth. That's when you verbalize that, people call you negative. And it's not really that I'm being negative. I'm just calling it how it always goes. It always goes left. It's always a problem. It's always an issue. It's always something, right? So let me tell you how God paved the way straight for me because he knows. So he went ahead. So though I know it's always an issue, he went ahead of my issue and fixed it before it was an issue, right? So I try not to verbalize anymore that, oh man, I know something gonna be wrong. But I had that hankering because even money was trying to take precautions. She was like, Ma, I know you ain't gonna find these tickets. When she purchased, her and my sister got together to purchase me the tickets. So she was like, I screenshot your confirmation. I sent you the link and it's in your email, but she didn't want to open the email because she didn't know if once she opens the tickets, if they would be obsolete. So she didn't want to do that. So I'm scrolling through because I'm trying to check in. The lady in front of us, she just goes in because she's ready. She's prepared. She got her tickets printed out, girl. And here I am with my phone. I'm like, okay. So I find my daughter's text message and I click the link and the link takes me to, do you want to buy tickets? Okay. I've learned to keep yourself calm. Don't panic because that will be the panic mode. I don't know why I'm trying to do anything. I don't know. I done drove way up this road. I can't do that without all this trouble. Okay, so rather than do that usual thing is what I used to do. I stayed calm. So I'm like, okay, let me look at the screenshot. So then the lady at the door is like, "Oh, don't worry about it. What's your name? Because it should be under your name." So I give her my name, Miss Dixon. Can't even say my own name right. And she's like, "Okay, so here's your lanyard." But I got my sister here, and I'm like, "Oh, my sister." So she has a ticket too. So they're like, "What's your sister's name?" And I give my sister Kristen's name. And she's like, "No, I don't find it. How do you spell it?" "No, I don't see anybody by that name." And I'm like, "Oh." In my mind, so I'm like, "Oh, so this is where the problem lies. We're not both going to get it in." So I'm like, "Oh, man." So I'm still keeping calm and I'm looking through the thing and I'm trying to like, so I'm like, "So how much is one ticket?" She says 125. So I know that my sister paid 250 because my daughter sent me the confirmation with the 250 on it. So the lady was like, "Well, I think you could still purchase more tickets." And I'm like, "We already paid." Like, so I'm the nicest pie. I definitely don't want to like when there's almost like a conflict, meaning conflict as in you're saying something and someone else is giving you an answer opposing to what you're saying because she didn't see my sister's name on the list. So I still calmly handle the situation. I never come at nobody because you already know it's not their fault. Like they're literally just working, right? So I'm like, "Oh man." And I cannot leave my sister because she's epileptic. So there's no way for her to not go in. And there's no way for me to go in without her. So I'm like, "Oh, so this is what happens. We drive way up to Tallahassee just to not go in, right?" So that's when I'm still like frantically looking through my email because I'm like, I gotta figure out how to find those tickets. And I get so much spam email. And that's when the guy that actually was the presenter, he comes out and he's like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Oh, Dixon, we don't see her guest. We don't see a +1. We don't see anything. We just see her name." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, no, Dixon has a +1." And we came right on in. They had my sister her lanyard. We went in. They had some nice little refreshing water and lemonade. That lemonade was good, girl. Cause lately, all the lemonades I've been drinking been that lemon drink that y'all trying to disguise as lemonade, girl. That ain't no lemonade. That was lemonade. That was lemonade, and it wasn't too sweet. It wasn't that McDonald's sweet tea sweet like that. No, and it wasn't watered. It wasn't that lemon drink. It was lemonade, girl. They had lemonade and waters and such. Yes. So we got in. I finally was able to go pee, girl, because I made it that long with the. I had to pee, like for real. And when you can't pee, that's when you really need to pee, like the most. Like literally, the moment you get in a position where you might not even need to pee. But the moment you get in a position where there's no facilities available, that's when you gonna have to pee, right? So we go in, I gotta pee, we use the bathroom, and we come and get us a seat. Of course, my sister want to sit all the way to the back. Y'all know your girl is legally blind, so with situations with sitting in a room with different lightings and stuff, sometimes it obstructs because y'all know I see nothing but watercolors and such out of this eye, reflections, watercolors, some type of shaping or whatever. I rely solely on this one, but your brain actually does see out of both eyes, so I can see all of that crap that's going all around. But because your brain knows to ignore that and focus on this, I can see this, right? So when all of that is happening, when I'm sitting in a room, I'm still seeing all that light like blocking what I'm trying to see out of this eye. So though I could see Latoya Okeia, it was like some obstruction, so I couldn't clearly see her. But she walked all around. She didn't just stay up front, girl. When they presented her, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is who I watch all the time. Now, let me tell you one thing. I did not know she was tall. I never would have ever in my life guessed that she was tall. I'm thinking she's a good 5'5" like me. I don't know. I guess you know how they say you look different on TV. Well, I guess on camera on YouTube you look different once you see the person in person. But she's just as beautiful. Her face, everything looks the same. It's just I did not expect her to be tall. She comes out barefooted, and that is that just brings her so much down to earth, girl. She, though she is beautiful on the exterior, she's not that too much beauty that I got to be shelved. That no, you can actually, God is going to use me. It's not that beauty that's going to be placed on a shelf. It's that beauty that's going to be used, right? So it was beautiful. um Coach, I can't remember his last name. I do have it in my text. This girl, this how the day before I went to buy me a whole pack. Now if y'all follow Miss Latoya Okeia, she always tells you get your journal and your blue ink pens. Girl, I journal every day in life. And even when I miss days, I go back and refill in my journal when I get time to journal. And the reason I journal is because one, I was shunned from talking about certain situations with people. People don't want to hear your problems. They don't want to hear it. But I got to get it out. I can't leave this trash inside of me. So I got to, like, it's got to go somewhere. So I take it to my journal and I release it. I release it through writing it, right? And also, I got to keep track because I'm so hard on myself that you'll ask me, Keita, so what have you done? I ain't did nothing. But here's this journal. Keita, yes, you did. You did this. You ignored that you did do that. See how you got that done? And you accomplished that. But you telling me you ain't did nothing. So because I am so self-critical, I'm less critical. I ain't gonna tell you I'm healed of that. I'm less self-critical. I give myself more grace, but that critic is still there, girl. But because I will be so hard on myself, I keep track of things. I keep track of blessings. I keep track of, like, I'll have something in my journal where I'll ask God for this, and I'll say I like to almost put prayers in the journal, and then I write some lines, and then I say, did He answer it? And then I go back and fill in whether God answered that prayer, because a lot of times we move so fast that we don't acknowledge that God has been answering our prayers, right? And we don't take account. So that's why we still think we are in the same spot, but we aren't. We actually have moved forward. And now it could be baby steps, like in my case, but I have moved forward, right? So I journal every day, but I just ran out of pages in my journal, right? Bought a whole thing of ink pens, and because I'm rushing, I left them in the bag on my bed. So I gets to the Latoya Okeia Divine Ones seminar. I ain't got no blue ink pen. I ain't got no journal. I ain't even got no paper in my purse, girl, that I can take out. So I'm like, I'm almost like back in grade school. Like, you got a pencil I could borrow? Can I borrow your pencil, girl? And you know how they look at you, girl. You ain't come to school prepared. You ain't come prepared, girl. No, I did. So I didn't look around to borrow nothing. I'm like, oh Lord, what am I gonna do? Because I know I want to take my notes. So, I got carpal tunnel. I'm disabled. So I'm like, I'm going to attempt to text it. And this was so challenging. It takes me forever to text. But the grace of God, oh my God, my hand did not cramp up with this phone in my hand. I was able to text and keep up with what they were saying, took all the notes. So what I'm going to do, I got all my notes. I'm going to purchase me a new journal. So when I went to buy my ink pens, they didn't have no journals. So that's why I didn't purchase a new journal. And then I ran off and left the stuff anyway. So, girl, you tried to prevent problems just to run into problems. So I was able, God, grace of God, I was able to keep up with the notes, and I have it all texted in my phone. Now I'm gonna buy me a journal and kind of write it out in the journal. So it was nice. She gave us the keys to transformation, to breaking down them walls in your head. Them walls get it's it was another lady. I got to do a whole nother story time. It was a coworker. Now I see her way more than a coworker. There's certain people in your life, and they are sent to you through by God, right? And every time I fall by the wayside, I think God sends somebody into my life. I could tell you the specific people God sent to me to pull me back on track and to get me to believe again, right? So in that season in 2021, God sent to me through a coworker. She's not she's more than a coworker now, right? And her mother, like, she would always watch us and be like, "Oh, tell me a story." Like, she talks to everybody. She's such a beautiful person. And I told her a story. I don't know what story I told her. And I believe I don't know what it was. It was about my mother somewhat. And then the story, because that always comes up. You have a child, so are you and the father together? This, and that. So I kind of got into that story, which that's what people say. Oh, so what happened? Oh, yeah, I'm listening. That's how they. So I tell this long drawn out story that I done tried to condense down so I don't tire you guys, right? And she actually listened. And she actually understood what I was saying. And she went home and she told her mother the story. And her mother was like, oh my gosh, like, we've got to help her. Like, that doesn't happen. You can tell they were sent from God. You can tell they were sent from God. And they actively tried to help me to find people to help break this story. So that is a godsend. But she got me back to believing because I was giving up on fighting for Marcello. She was like, no, we got to get him home. Like, for real. So yes, God has strategically sent me people in certain seasons, and that was one of those people. But and just like sorry, like that, to be honest, God sent me Miss Latoya Okeia in a time where I don't know when did I start watching her, but it's in that time where I'm coming off of years of narcissistic abuse, being under that spirit. I didn't know it was a spirit. I didn't know it was spiritual spiritual warfare. I didn't know that, girl. Sometimes I gotta think for these words come out because they ain't coming out. But I didn't know that's what that was. I didn't know the enemy I'm looking for enemies in other places. I didn't know the enemy was within the family, the ones I love. The enemy was right there attacking me through those relationships. And I didn't know that. And in that time where I'm just coming out of, and it's like God gives you that puzzle piece. Like I said, my life made no sense until 40. And that's when I cried out to God, like, God, what is wrong with me? Like, I literally cried out to him. And I was like, why do people hate me? I don't care how good I try to be. They hate me. They hate my guts. And I try to be the best person I can. I take myself back to the drawing board. Like, people still don't like you, Keita. Try to be better. Do this better. And no matter how good I tried to be, I never got love for love. I got hate for love. I give out love, they give me back hate. I give out care and attention, and they give me They ignore me. I can't run to them when I have problems. We will quickly switch it around to talking about their problems. If I was talking or venting about something going on with Marcello, they would change the subject. They wouldn't listen. They'll be gone to bed. Like, so it was never the same care in the relationships for me as I had for them, right? So in that time when God was revealing that to me about those relationships, that's when God sent me Miss Latoya Okeia. And I started watching them videos, girl. Before I started watching her, I was heavily watching Shantia Deja. But it's like you connect. For me, I connect with that one person. It's like I don't watch a whole realm of people at once. It's like you're on that connection with that content creator. And for a long while it was Miss Latoya Okeia. So God did put her in my life. Thank you, Lord. I'm telling you, I have grown so much. Though, if you ask me, Keita, have you grown? No, girl, I ain't did nothing. But when I truly take account, yes, I have. If you knew the pits of jail from which I was, if you really knew how broken, how spiritually just, and people always said that it was negative. I was negative. I was a negative person when I always thought I was just being realistic. But yeah, so God sent her in the time that I needed her content, right? So yeah, so we got there. I'm keeping up with the swiping, and I'm surprised because Coach taught and he gave some great knowledge. And then I was keeping up with that, and then Miss Latoya was coming out. Now with Latoya, I kind of just sat back. I took notes every now and then when she gave some nuggets, which was the whole time. So I can't swipe. I can't. I'm not no court reporter. I can't. No, just those key things that stood out to me, right? So I had took little notes on that. And then it got into praise, worship, and it was a whole like spiritual just cleansing and resetting, and it was beautiful. Afterwards, Miss Latoya prayed over my sister. She prayed over all of us, girl, but she prayed over my sister and her epilepsy and her seizures and stuff like that. And the anointing that was in that room, let me tell you, girl. And then they had foods. They had food, girl. So I was like, I didn't fall asleep. You couldn't fall asleep, but I was tired, right? I was going to bed, but I could not, I did not fall asleep. But God heard that prayer to just give me that energy to get through, right? And afterwards, I'm like, okay, so now we got to stop to go get something to eat. No, they fed us. They had a beautiful spread. They had all kinds of meats and bread and fruit, the good fruit, girl. Oh, they had salad and different salad dressings. It was nice. It was very beautiful. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that they were going to feed us too. You already spiritually feeding us, but then you're going to feed us as well to make sure that our bodies are nourished. That was so beautiful. And then I'm sorry. So we did line up. I skipped over that. We lined up. I hugged her and she hugged me. My sister, she prayed for my sister, and then I was able to give her the shirt. Now I didn't see her act. I didn't even get a picture of the shirt before, like when I was done. I usually get that. But we did get to take a picture together. But then I gave her the shirt that I put in this little, it was a cute little pink envelope. I picked that up, but where my journal at, girl? But I gave her the shirt in that. So I didn't get to see her actually see the shirt and if she enjoyed it and liked it or whatever. But I did get to give it to her. And she was really beautiful, down to earth, nice, loving woman that you can already tell that she is through her videos and her content. So we ate and then we got on the road, and you know what? You already know. What you eat? What you want to do after you eat, girl? What's the first thing you want to do? So I had to pray that spirit. That spirit didn't even come in after I ate. I drove home listening to Miss Latoya, Okeia, and other of the content creators I like. I was just, once you watch a couple of videos, because they keep you so captivated, you home, girl. And before I know it, I was on that turnpike, and before I know it, we was home. Got home, and I was trying to diligently upload the content that I had from the seminar, but I did fall asleep with my contact in, which is bad. So I don't. Well, let's pray that I don't have that issue today. The last week I did have that issue where I fell asleep with my contact and it hurt my eye, which causes a severe headache in your head, like basically, like in the eye area to like going up. And it's hurts so bad that you literally can't even focus. Like I couldn't even hardly work last week because my head was hurting so bad and I had to pop my contacts out. And I'm thinking, oh, this a whole nother story, girl. Okay, so this gonna be we're done with the no, we not because I wanted to girl. Oh, I'm trying to sidetrack. Trying to sidetrack. I don't want to, but I'm going okay, I'm a sidetrack. Last week it's like the most ironic stuff happened. So at my job, really, literally, I feel like they don't like me because I'm disabled, which is aggravating because that's something that I cannot help. I have literally been validly seeking, trying to healing and trying to not deal with, because I have 3 herniated discs in my neck. I have severe carpal tunnel. No, hold on. Let's go back. I have 3 herniated discs in my neck, 5 pinched nerves in my neck, arthritis in my neck, TMJ in my jaw. I'm legally blind. Y'all can already see this. I don't look right. See, I was pointing out. I'm legally blind in both eyes, but I can only wear one contact. This eye is too gone to wear a contact, and the contact does nothing but scratch the eye up more. So I'm legally blind, all the issues in my neck. I have severe carpal tunnel in both hands. I have arthritis in both hands and nerve damage in both hands. I also have a slip disc in the bottom of my back, which causes me sciatica. I can't sit too long. I can't stand too long. So, girl. And I diligently, that's why I know I need to be an entrepreneur. I need to work on my own. It's very hard to work in a actual work setting. It's difficult. And I mean, I have all my paperwork saying that I'm not physically whole right? So I have accommodations at my job, and my coworkers basically hate me because they have to accommodate me. That's all I can really say it is. So they don't like me because I'm disabled. Though, like I was trying to explain, like a disabled person, though they can't do everything, and I can't do everything, but the things that I can do, I excel in them. And I come there and I work the hardest I can. Like though I have sciatica, I'm still sitting up there trying to sweep. My back be on pure fire. I don't stand still. I rock back and forth from one leg to the other. My back be on pure fire, and while they be leaning against the counters and stuff, and I would love, could I just lean for a moment? I don't. I still be walking around there, sweeping, bussing tables. I pull out too far the wrong way. I pull my back. I got to deal with a pull back for the next 2 to 3 days to a week. So it's like, it's already challenging. You're already fighting your own self and your inability to do things at work. And then you got to fight others because they don't like you because so they never let me be on this one position. Ever. Never. Never in my dreams can I be on this one position. So my contact was hurting me, but I was like, if I could just get to work, I'll be okay. It was hurting my head so bad. My eyes were just running tears. They were red because you could tell when you see all my veins, like when it's irritating my eye like that. So I'm like, as soon as I get to work, I'm gonna pop them out. Now, and I'm just gonna like kind of bust tables a little bit, which does get difficult because without my contact, I can't necessarily see all the trash that needs to be removed. Sometimes my distance is off, so I might bump into somebody, run into somebody. I can see their figure, but because it's so distorted, I can't see the true where I need to come out around that table, or so I might bump into people and stuff like that. But I'm like, okay, if I could just take my contact out and soak it for a little while, I'll be good. Ironic. The moment I come in, pop my contacts out, they're like, okay, Keita, so you're going to be in the position that they never even let me look at, never even let me glance at. I'm all of a sudden the day I can't see in that position. I'm like, and there's like, oh, we had 1,000,001 call in, so it's just you and this other person. I'm like, so y'all actually today, this the day we doing this? Like, it was so bad. So that person had went to lunch. And then when they came back from lunch, so I'm trying to do this without my contact. So I'm all up on the screen like this. I'm trying to see if I'm giving the right food because I literally cannot, because it's all distorted. So I'm hoping I'm doing the right thing. And I'm like, can I just go? And I hadn't ate. I did not get to eat because that was the day. Well, we did eat. That was the day I went and did Money's pregnancy photo shoot, which I ain't edit those yet, but I need to before she's not pregnant no more, girl. But my head was hurting because of that, and I did not sleep. That day I got 3 hours of sleep as well. And I'm realizing I used to do this all the time, but I'm too old to do it. I pay for it now when I do that. When I get 3 hours of sleep, I feel like crap. Like I feel sick in my stomach. That's why I'm so surprised, but not shouldn't be surprised. But I prayed that God would not allow me to have that stomach feeling and that headache feeling that I usually feel, and I did not. I did not. But that week I did. So after being out in that hot sun doing a photo shoot and rushing to drop them off, Money and Princess, my granddaughter and my daughter, and then rushing to work, I didn't get to eat again. So we had Chick-fil-A during the day, but that was our only meal. We didn't eat breakfast, and I didn't. So I hold out till I get to work to be able to eat. So usually they send us early because we're closing and we have our rush in the evening. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. Then I can go once I get to work, I'll be able to eat. So not only am I on position where you never put me, as soon as she came back from her lunch, I was gonna ask to go to mine so that I can eat. Because I'm thinking maybe that's attributing to my headache. That's when the line gets so long and I couldn't go. So I clear out the line and then I say, "Can I go to eat?" And she's like, "No, because we have something called park dump. That's when our parks close, and that's when it gets the busiest in the restaurants outside the park. So we cannot go during that time. But that rule is really only for when it's busy. We hadn't been busy, girl. Everybody filling their pockets like they skinny pockets. So we hadn't been busy. So though the rule is for when it's busy, our busiest, we weren't busy. But that day the manager said no because it is park dump, and I'm like, and if you don't go before park dump, you have to a 2 hour window. You're gonna have to wait, which basically it was gonna be till we close at like 10 something. So I'm like, you kidding me? So I also cannot eat. I felt so bad going through that day. I felt so horrible. I couldn't hardly see. My head was hurting. I had already taken like 4 Excedrin. When I take the mini Excedrin and my headache still doesn't lighten up, I already know it's not going away. So the only thing that makes it go away is for me to lay down, go to sleep, and hopefully wake up the next morning without feeling it. But my phone is about to die. I was supposed to be going up in this library. Instead, I'm still sitting here. But it was good chopping it up with y'all. But so the it was over after back to the chosen ones. I'm sorry, not chosen ones, divine ones conference. Well, divine ones are chosen ones, to be honest with you. But back to that, we left. I got on the road. I gassed up as soon as we left. Got on that road. We had already ate because they had fed us, and got straight home and went to bed. Now I fell asleep trying to upload the content, and it's still not uploaded because of the storage situation and how long it takes. But it was beautiful. I do got to go to work in a little bit, so I better. It's almost 1. I have not ate breakfast, and if I pull that again, they're gonna be with that, be on that bull. So I better get me something to eat. But anyways, it was great. And our next, and that's money. What you doing? What you doing? Anyways, our next project reached is going to be Miss Ashley from Diamond Royal Ministries. Now, with her, I don't know, I don't think she has a P.O. box or anything, so we're going to be doing a drawing. Should we do a drawing? I haven't done my drawings in a while. Should we do a plain drawing, but like really nice? Or should we do a painting? I'm not going to do the t-shirt because I don't know how to get it to her. So I'm just going to do something that, she see me creating it and I tag her in it. I mean, if she gave me the address, I could send it to her. But I mean, I directly don't know a way to send it to her. So I won't do that. So I don't know if we're going to do drawing. Because one day it was this guy. Girl, we all. When I was at Jump Ministries and I did my internship there. They were sent to me in a time that I needed them in 2020. Jump Ministries. Yes. Um, the person that was my, what do you call that? I know what it is. My mentor, because I was doing graphic design for the church, right? My mentor, his name was Shadrach. Girl, how ironic. And he kept it hot. It was like a fire furnace in that office, girl. He kept it hot. Yes. So your name do actually mean Like literally, names do bring. He kept it like a fiery furnace in there. But yeah, Shadrach, they let me tell you, girl, I don't even much remember what I was talking about. But we'll get back to. I'll replay this because I can't remember why I got off on Shadrach. I was finna try to tell you something. But it's all right. My mind going to bed. But I'll talk to you guys later. His see a girl Cadillac.